I don't think going out on a date makes you a slut, but having sex with different men makes you a slut.
Well, what does it make you if you have sex with different women?
A slut maker. By popular demand, Slut Maker t-shirt, now available, TheFallenState.tv, hashtag Slut Maker, TheFallenState.tv. The Fallen State is amazing. Subscribe now. Welcome to The Fallen State. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. My guest has joined me on my radio show, and today he is here in person. I have with me rapper R.A., better known as the Rugged Man. R.A., thank you for coming on.
Oh, no problem, no problem.
And so you're in L.A. on a tour right now, right?
Yeah. Well, we're having our off days right now, but I'm touring throughout the U.S. right now. I just did a European run, about 25 dates. Now I'm doing 18 in the U.S. And then my last stop is going to be in Germany, July 30th.
Amazing. Well, I'm glad you stopped by.
Oh, thank you.
I really am. Yeah. I enjoyed talking to you on the radio from Germany.
Yeah, it was funny, yeah. Wow, like I said, I didn't know what I was getting into. I'm like, wow, he's extreme. He was like, don't you think everybody's a woman? They're all weak. I was like, yo.
Speaking of that, is it normal for men to be angry?
I mean, I grew up around angry men, you know. Men are angry and women are emotional. Men are emotional too, but their emotions are anger, you know, a lot of times, you know.
Is that normal for a man?
I think in society since the beginning of time, you know, look at the sword fights, killing everybody, wars. I think angry men has been pretty, you know, normal in society throughout history.
Do you agree with me that the anger of a man is that of a woman?
Nah, I don't know.
He gets his anger from his mother?
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
You don't agree with that?
I didn't understand where you're coming from with that, yeah.
Oh, because men are not normally angry. And the anger of a man is from his mother, because when, you know, our mothers are raising kids, they're very impatient or they're very willful, and it traumatizes the boy. And as you know, you become like whoever you're angry at.
What century did this start? Because men have been angry from the beginning of time, so they've been angry at their mother since like the caveman days?
Yeah.
Yeah. He said, yeah.
It started when Adam believed a lie from Eve and he became subject to her.
Oh.
He took on her identity.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Adam and Eve started that.
Yeah.
Okay. But Adam didn't have a mother.
But once he believed the lie of Eve, Eve became his mother.
Oh, so.
You notice how your wife is like your mother?
I hope not. You know.
But does she remind you of that sometimes? Do you sometimes think, wow, I look like I'm married to my mother?
She's strict sometimes, you know. She tell me what to do sometimes. Yeah.
Like your mother, right?
Yeah.
It makes you feel like a little boy.
I don't know, possibly, you know.
Have you noticed sometimes?
I got me like, stop being angry at me. Stop being angry at me. Yeah.
Have you noticed sometimes it's like a mother and son relationship?
Nah, I don't know about that.
When she's angry at you and making you do things you don't want to do, or yelling and screaming?
I do a lot of the yelling. I'm the bad guy sometimes.
So you have anger?
Yeah, I got anger issues.
So you like a woman?
That's not like a woman, though. That's like I said, throughout history, man has been angry, you know.
But if you're angry and your wife is angry, it's like two women arguing.
Well, what about when two men are angry and arguing? What about when you go to the bar and they're all jealous over the other one's girlfriend and they're all fighting at the bar? Is that
like women.
But is it a woman? It's a man.
I know, but because they became like their mothers, it's really two women arguing.
So when is a man not a woman?
A man, let me ask, what is a man?
I know, that was the question you asked me, and I said, you know, somebody who just, you know, was born, you know, a certain way and, you know, lives his life. I think a man is a man. It's biological, you know, so.
Biological?
Yeah.
Well, that's part of it, but that's not the whole man.
Yeah, you didn't make the definition of what a man was clear for me either. I didn't understand.
A man is a male without anger.
But that doesn't exist.
It does. I don't have anger.
Of course you do.
No.
You never.
I was angry. I had anger.
Of course you did. So were you a woman at the time? Because I'm sure have you ever hit somebody?
I become just like my mother.
You know.
And you know what changed it? 29 years ago, God caused me to realize that I had become like her. And that's why every woman I was attracted to was just like my mother, even though I was trying to get away from it, because you become attracted to what you hate, right? And so every woman I got involved with had that spirit. I couldn't understand it until I overcame her.
But why did you hate your mother?
Because she was impatient and she tried to turn me away from my father.
But that's just a different way of living and thinking. She raised you. She did great things for you. She
didn't do great things.
But she did. She raised you in a womb for 9 months and took care of you, nurtured you, breastfeed you.
That wasn't a great thing.
That's not great to do.
That was punishment.
Should she have just dumped you somewhere?
When women have children, that's a punishment. That's not a great thing. God punished them for being disobedient. So pain, the birth of pain is a punishment for women. It's not a great thing.
Did your mother raise you and take care of you and feed you?
Yeah, she did the best she can do.
So that's great.
But it wasn't a great thing.
That's great.
She had no other choice.
Of course she did.
What was the other choice?
You know how many deadbeat moms are out there that don't take care of their children?
I know, but it wasn't like a great thing, though.
Of course it is. It's a great thing for a mother to take care of their kids.
So do you agree that a man is a male without anger?
No, I don't. I think all men is angry.
But they shouldn't be, though.
Yeah.
Oh, but by the way, when I forgave her, I went to her and forgave her because I realized she couldn't help it. Then God forgave me, and He took the anger away, and so I don't have any anger at all.
But you
no
still hate
fear,
your
no
mom.
doubt. What?
Do you still hate your mom?
No, I forgave her.
Oh. I wonder what's going on with your mom-ish. That's like some Norman Bates. Strange.
No, most. I almost want to say all, but most men hate their mothers.
I'm not so sure about
that.
Yeah, I know.
You love your mother?
Yeah, of course I love
Have you
mother.
Forgiven her for the mistakes she made with you?
But she didn't make many mistakes. She raised me. She took care of me.
Did you forgive her for the ones she made?
I guess I did because I don't even remember the mistakes my mother made. It's just, like I have no anger towards my mother.
How about your father?
My father was my best friend of all time.
You were close to your father?
Yeah.
So how did you end up marrying a woman with so much anger then?
She's not, a man is being a man. I'm a mess. I'm sloppy. I'm all over the place. So she gets angry at me sometimes. She's not like this angry woman. There's much angrier women out there than the mother of my kids. The mother of my kids is, I think, the best you could find, So.
Do you believe that human beings are in a fallen state?
A fallen state compared to all of history?
No, like are human beings in a fallen state?
I don't understand the question.
Are you a Christian?
I was raised Protestant, but I go through some doubts sometimes, But,
meaning what?
You question the universe, You say, you pray your whole life. You say, hey, this, that. You pray, and then some days you go, does anybody know anything? I don't think no. You can't prove there's a God. An atheist can't prove there's not a God. It's we're all in this ball floating through the goddamn universe, and we sometimes.
What kind of universe?
I'm sorry. God blessed universe. That's what I mean. God blessed universe. Yeah.
Are you a Christian?
I have Christian beliefs, and I was raised Protestant. Like I said, my father raised me Protestant. He raised me saying my prayers. But at times, like my children, my 1 and 2 year old yet, right. I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna put Christianity into their life yet. I haven't decided that yet.
No, don't decide. Let them decide.
Yeah, there you go.
As adults.
Yeah, okay.
So are you a Christian?
I'm not sure. I like I said, I have some Christian values, and I do pray at times. I do speak to God, and sometimes I doubt everything. So it's there's a conflict.
Right. So you believe in God?
I do. I think so.
And why?
You know what? It's a dice game. You're just kind of guessing because you believe in God or you don't, and everyone that believes in God is either right or wrong, and everyone that doesn't believe in God is either right or wrong. We don't know. There's no proof of any of it. So my guess is that there's a higher power that directs things and lets things happen. So
you believe in you were close to your earthly father, right?
Oh,
is he a Christian?
He was a Protestant.
He's not alive anymore?
He passed.
Oh, he was a Protestant.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that is a Christian.
Yeah, it is. You wrote a song about your father called Uncommon Valor.
Yeah, true story.
It was about the time he served in Vietnam.
Yeah.
In the Vietnam War.
Yep.
That affected him a lot, right?
Well, what happened is he was he was highly decorated though. He was a Green Beret.
Yeah, I saw that
He
video.
was a Screaming Eagle. He was everything. He was airborne, Army highest of every, highly decorated, awarded by so many people. But what happened is they flew him into all these secret missions. Now that they're not secret anymore,
Right.
But at the time there were secret missions over all these different enemy territories, and 6 different places that the government are agreeing to was sprayed with Agent Orange. It's probably more than that, but they admitted to 6 different locations that they sent him into that sprayed Agent Orange on the crops and everything. So,
right.
So he was infected by Agent Orange, and what happened when he came home? It seemed okay, everything's fine, but then when my sister was born in '81, she couldn't walk or talk. She was handicapped, and she had cerebral palsy, all of this stuff. And they said, it's 1 in a million. They didn't know it was Agent Orange yet. Then years later, my brother Max is born. He can't walk and talk, and he's blind. And they go, oh, the Agent Orange. And then the Agent Orange started getting, press, and people started figuring out what it was and learning about it. And then my sister, who was born healthy, my older sister, she had a son that passed away at 6 months old. So it didn't even just affect my dad and his kids. It murdered his grandkids and everything. So. Yeah, 4 of the family members were highly affected by Agent Orange. Yeah.
I watched your song last night, and it was a sad song. Your father, got this Agent Orange thing and going on. How did it affect you personally?
Well, at the time, you don't think. When you're living a life, you think it's normal. You're not like, wow, this is so crazy.
I see, yeah.
But then when you grow up and you tell the world, they go, yo, that's what the fuck you want. You would, your family members dying every couple of years, and your family's in wheelchairs and this and that, and no one can walk and talk, and you have nurses. So then years later you go, that's not normal. But at the time when it's experienced, you cry, you feel pain when they get hurt and when they die and when they're sick in the hospital, but you don't. You just feel that's life. And in reality of things, it is life. It is normal. In life, there is a lot of. Everybody has struggle and pain and loss and death and sickness. That's what life is. So yeah, of course, just like somebody loses a loved one in their life, it's going to affect their life forever. Yeah. So that's of course it affects you. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that it didn't happen to you or your kids.
That was the scariest thing, when I started late having kids too, and when my daughter, was in the womb and my lady was pregnant. That's the main thing. You go, oh my God, what if she turns out like Dee Dee and Max and Vincent? What if, so I was really a paranoid mess, thinking the worst.
I can bet, man.
Because when babies are dying in your life and kids are dying, oh, my daughter. So even even when she was alive, every night it was too good to be true. So I'd wake up like, oh, I thought she was dying every night. I'd be like, what the hell's wrong? Calm down. I was scaring the hell out of her mother. It's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I'm sorry. We just, because when my brother died, he was 10 years old and he just stopped breathing and turned blue. So you have all this shit in your head. So you apply to your own. Oh, what if that happens to my kid? But now. My son's, almost a year and a half. My daughter's 2.5, and they're so healthy and perfect and amazing. So it's like, the paranoia starts lessening.
I'm glad, man. I can imagine what that must be like for you.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Your father, what did he say about the song you made about him?
He was funny. My dad, he wanted to be. He didn't want to be. But he was like a legend in the neighborhood, like the OG cats, they were all scared of him. He was the guy that, don't mess with him. And then as he got old, and he'd go in the supermarket hey, Johnny, like, everybody, he was the star, So, but then when the song came out, he had his little car and he was playing this, he played a song out the windows and
nice.
he played over and over. So he really loved the song. Yeah.
Nice. That's good, man.
Yeah. And he, if you ask if we're religious, he didn't believe that the kids were sick from Agent Orange. He said it was from God. He said God gave the kids to him.
Really?
Like that. So that's another perspective.
Wow.
Yeah. But me, I'm a little bit more,
You smoke pot?
No, I don't do it.
Have you ever smoked pot?
No.
Do you think they should legalize pot?
I think so. Because, well, I don't know. Everything's a scam. So I'm not sure. But these are grown-ups, and at what point do you tell them, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this? It's not, I think my friends who do smoke pot, a lot of them act dopey. A lot of them, you know, get lazy. A lot of them fuck things up. I'm in the studio, you're messing things up. Come on, man. Like, so you know.
That's why I don't think you should. Another reason you should smoke pot. You can't function well.
I agree. I don't smoke at all.
I wouldn't want someone working for me who was on pot.
Yeah. See, that's the one thing I agree with. But on the flip side of that, I have some musical engineers when they don't have they're dependent on it. When they don't have their drug, they're not so good musically. And then you give them a little smoke, and then all of a sudden the fucking magic happens. So I guess it's everybody's different, you know. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, in watching you last night on your video and singing about your father's situation, and you grew up around a lot of rappers and things like that. Yeah, have you noticed that a lot of them are not close to their fathers?
A lot of rappers aren't close to their father. Yeah, a lot of rappers, you know, were like you said, raised in the single home and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you know, some of the rappers that had fathers in their life loved their fathers.
Right.
And,
some did, but a lot of them
and
did.
a lot of them have, like, just Father's Day was the other day, and you know, you see all these great pictures with the rappers with their fathers since they're kids, and you know, so some, you know, it's not every rapper that doesn't have a father, you know, but there's definitely a handful of them. Like my producer when I was a kid, Niles. His father just walked out, you know, and you know, it was funny because you know, the father didn't even say hi to him, nothing. And then one day I go to my producer's house, and my producer's like 30-something years old at the time. I'm like in my 20s, and I walk in, he's like, R.A., that's my dad. His father was sitting at the table.
Wow.
And I was just like, I just laughed at the guy, like, come on, man, what are you doing now, man? You know, like, you leave the guy for 30-something. And my boy was like, what does he want to come play a game of chess with me? Get the fuck out of here, you know? You know, like,
that's right. Yeah. Why are fathers so important to children?
I think because it's an influence on their life, you know, and I think, you know, you might disagree, but I think the mother's important too. I think it's two aspects.
Yeah, they both are important.
Yeah,
but which is most important?
I think it's equally important.
You do?
Yeah, because, you know, a man is a man, and a man has a man's point of view, and a man's, you know, like, there's so much things that I do with my kids that my wife would do totally opposite, you know? So if I wasn't there, they would be raised really clean cut in every way, and this, that. And me, I bring the, you know, the little, you know, my daughter's doing karate and boxing with me, and, you know, we're just, you know, it's a, you know, you know, you need two sides of the spectrum. You can't just, I mean, you don't need it, obviously, because people die and people break up and things, but, I mean, the best thing for any human being is to have, you know,
both parents.
It's to have, you know, influences from two different sides, not just one, you know.
I read that you were a friend with this rapper, the Notorious B.I.G. You remember him?
Yeah, of course I remember. Yeah, we talked about this on the phone, and yeah.
He was famous, and he was killed back in 1997.
Yeah, he was a kid, 24, I think, yeah.
What was his problem? He had a lot of problems.
Nah, he did. He was a nice
He seemed
guy.
like mean and
he wasn't.
And nasty and
he had a lot of smiles.
Gangster like.
Nah, if you watch his videos, he wore nice clothes. He smiled a lot. He wasn't.
So was his videos in his video? Was it all an act? That's
what
not
video
who he
was he doing that?
He
in?
seemed like Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah, it's not like Notorious Gun Killer, you know.
But he looked pretty mean though.
No, how do you look mean? If you go Google him, he got smiles on his face. He's a nice guy. Big was a nice guy, and he was a kid, man. He was a little kid, you know. And he made some songs, and then they got him. They took him out, you know. It's.
Were you affected by that when they took him out?
Well, you know, when my friends die, you know, rappers die, you're affected. You know, their music was really powerful, and you know them personally, and but you lose your closest friends and your closest relatives and your closest family, so you are affected. But I think sometimes society, like people that don't even know the celebrities, are more affected than when they're actually family members die or their cousins die, and you're like, yo, like, you know, and they put, you know, someone passed away, they put him on this pedestal, and one of my closest rap friends, Sean Price, he passed away about 2 years ago. Yeah, and it wasn't a crime, it wasn't a murder or nothing. He just died. His heart stopped, and that one affected me because Biggie at the time was starting to do big things like, you know, Michael Jackson and award shows, and he was doing, you know, songs with everybody, and like we get on the phone, but it was kind of like he's in his world now,
right.
you know.
Yeah.
Sean Price, he was in the trenches with me, you know. He was the underground guard, and we were all, and you know, and we know his wife and his kids every day, you know. We'll be at his house, and so when Sean Price passed, it kind of even left a bigger, like, wow, man, it felt like a you know, a family member almost,
Yeah.
you know. So.
Have anyone ever tried to take you out?
Yeah. I was in, you know, got set up a few times where you know, I'd be alone with a girl or something, and they come, you know, and the next thing, you know, 17 thugs are trying to, you know, bounce on your head and shit, you know, yeah, shit like that happens.
And so why, is this a thing that rappers do, or is it out of jealousy?
I think it's a jealousy thing. I do
so
think the young boy just in Florida got killed yesterday.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you about him.
Yeah.
What was his name?
I don't know how to say his name, the young kid,
what was
20
his
years
name?
old.
XXX Tentacion.
Yeah.
They took him out the other day in Florida.
Yeah.
So it's just normal for rappers to do this out of jealousy?
Well, I don't know if it's rappers that are doing it.
Whomever is doing it.
But yeah, I think it is a jealous thing, you know, because what happens is rappers are becoming humanized. They're regular people, and everybody believes that they could be a rapper too. And, you know, and they're all making songs, and everybody's trying to be this status.
Yeah.
So when somebody that they feel is like not equal to them or equal to them or is getting all this shine, they're like, why is this person being so praised? And I think there's a lot of jealousy. Like it's childish. That's my interpretation.
Right,
that's my
course.
guess. So
Yeah.
I definitely believe it's jealousy. You know.
And so when they tried to take you out, did they shoot at you or something? What happened?
I got guns pulled on me before, but none. This particular case, no. This was the time I'm talking about. I just got jumped, and you know, usually, you know, I turn around, hey, you know, but when it's dude after dude coming at, you know, you got to just escape. You know, you got to just get out of
That's
there.
amazing.
Yeah.
You also know Eminem?
Yeah.
You got to admit he got issues. No,
I'm not close friends with him, but I know his whole team. He knows who I am before he was even Eminem. He knew who I was.
Oh, okay.
And we, you know, his manager, Paul Rosenberg, you know, take me out, come meet Eminem. So, you know, we met on the bus and kicked it. And, you know, his DJs all say that M listens to my stuff and stuff like that. Alchemist said
he hated his mother, huh?
Dad's definitely a hate his mother guy. He fits your concept perfectly, you know.
He hates his mother.
You should be his biggest fan then.
I'm trying to get them to forgive their mother so they can become men.
Maybe he has. He's older now. Maybe M forgave his mother.
I don't see it change.
Yeah, you don't think it'll change?
So let me ask you this. I'm looking at your video. You're not a black guy. Your father's Italian, right?
My father's Scottish Sicilian. Yeah.
And your mother is?
My mother's 100% German.
And so you out there rapping, hanging around with these mean black guys. You were not afraid of them?
No. The thing is, because I was the white rapper guy before white rappers were really rapping. I was rapping in the 80s. And I started rapping when I was 11 years old. So they started taking me to all these, like, you know, house parties, and I'd be in a house party in Long Island, and dudes would start shooting up the ceilings, you know, like, you know, that, you know. So, but the thing is, when you're a kid, you're not like, oh, people are gonna get me, you know, like I'm here to rap, you know. Nah, there was never no fear, you know.
You were not afraid of the black ones?
No. The black ones. You're such a psycho. I wasn't afraid of the black ones.
They're so violent.
Well, white folks are violent too. And
not like the blacks.
Well, let me tell you something. In the hip hop,
white people steal your business. Black people steal your life.
You funny. Yeah.
Isn't that
true? Hey,
hey,
let me tell you something. I also grew up. You say, you know, if I grew up around black kids, I also grew up with, you know, gang members that were white boys. You know, the biker gangs, the pagans versus the Hells Angels, and they'd be in my house, and the pagans would be looking for license plates on VHS tapes to find where to find a Hell's Angel and go if they were in a certain hotel that day, they'd go run up in the hotel and rob them and beat them up. And
amazing.
Like it was in like the blacks were the violent one. Like I was around a lot of violent white folks, you know. It wasn't just blacks are violent, you know. Like in fact.
But you do agree that black are violent, not all, but most are violent people, right?
Not most.
Most.
No, I don't agree with most. I agree. There's definitely violence in all communities.
It's weird. Somebody calling my phone, and my cell phone, my thing is ringing. But you do agree that most are violent people.
No, I don't.
Have you ever dated a black woman?
Yes, of course. I dated everything. Yeah.
You dated everything?
Yeah.
Transgender too?
No. Everything that female. Yeah.
Oh, and so you dated all races of women?
Yeah. When I was young, that's what you do. You're a rapper. You just everything, whatever. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. You just.
How many women you been with?
A lot in my day.
100, 200, 300?
Way more than that. Yeah.
Way more than that.
Yeah. But
5,000.
But less than that. But
4,599.
We don't got to do all that. But now I'm cleaning up my life. Like I said, I got kids and I'm in my 40s now. You were the wild, crazy, you did all that whole rock star bullshit life, and you want to clean it up. Yeah.
Of all the races of women you're dating, which race is the best to make a wife and a mother out of?
Depends who the woman is. That's not. There's no best race to have a mother of your kid. That's some like Nazi eugenics crazy shit. No, there's not. There's no best one. I've dated from Latino to Asian to black to white to.
Which was the most difficult to deal with?
White girls, come on, man, they're crazy.
Oh, yeah?
Cutting themselves with razors. Oh, come on, man, calm down. Throwing teapots. Fucking crazy. The white girls are definitely the hardest ones to deal with. Unquestionably, I'll debate you on that one.
That's amazing. And so, but black guys think that black women are the most difficult to deal with.
Depends.
Because they curse you out, they get in your face, they want to fight you like a man, that kind of stuff.
Well, it depends which
they
black
throw your kids out the window.
Who did that?
Black women.
All of them?
They're bring the baby to you on their hips. Here's your child. Throw him to you and walk away.
That story told is my dad, when he remarried, when he had the handicapped kids, my stepmother, caught him out with a girl at a bar, and she brought the handicapped kid and threw him right on the lap in the bar. So, the white people do that too,
Yeah. Rap music, being around rap music all your life or most of your life, do you think it has had a positive or negative influence on young people and society overall?
Well, it depends what they're listening to. There was times when there was, Public Enemy and Poor Righteous Teachers, and it was a lot about knowledge and knowledge of self, and and that was uplifting the community, And then there's times when, it's a little bit more ignorant and could But on the flip side of that, is it still entertainment where like the Tarantino movies cause people to go kill people? No.
Right.
Does Freddy Krueger make you go slice people with a razor glove? No. So how much influence if a rap song is gonna make you go, oh, now I'm gonna get a gun and deal drugs and kill people? That's you. That's not the damn song. You had to have that in you. If you're that, yeah. So that's.
What about at one time? I don't know if they still do it or not, but they was calling women whores and bitches and kill the cop and all that kind of rap music. Was that a bad influence on culture?
Well, like I said, Tarantino in Reservoir Dogs was chopping cops' ears off and throwing gasoline on them and lighting them on fire. Anybody got a problem with that? So if somebody say, yeah, shoot a bullet at the cop, or something that kind of lyric, it's a lyric, it's a song. So I don't why are they taking every rap lyric literal, but then all these rich Hollywood people are allowed to put these images all over the place and nobody cares,
So when they were singing about bitches and whores and killing cops, you don't think that was a bad influence?
Music is an art where angry. If you're angry, and women will do it too. They'll say, oh, guys ain't shit, blah, 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 on their song. So if a man is angry and maybe the dude is a young kid that's hurt, and so fuck that bitch. When you're alone with your friend and the girl went and did something to you, maybe had sex with your friend or something, things that are not even that big of a deal in the big scheme of life,
right.
But at the time they're so hurt, they were fuck that bitch. So sometimes a hurt dude could put on a song, fuck that hoe, fuck that bitch, and it helps soothe them. So when because in the rap community they saying the same thing. They're like, they shouldn't degrade women and they shouldn't say this stuff, and but I kind of believe that Yeah, to each his own. They're making an art and what's coming out of it. So if they disrespect women in their song, what if they're doing it to when they're having a conversation with their boys? They're saying, fuck that bitch. So, and just like the girl is saying, fuck that dog, he did this and that, So, I've been cursing a lot. Are we allowed to curse, or you beep it out, or I don't know?
I don't know either. I'm just listening.
Okay, because you guys didn't tell me that.
And so you don't think that rap music about whores and bitches and killing cops is a bad influence on culture or a bad idea?
I'm going to go against the grain on that one and say that, like I said, it's an art form. And yeah, negative imagery in art is something I approve of. I'm not one of these offended, oh, they said that, they said this, they said that. Yeah,
so you don't think it's a bad idea?
No, I like it.
You think, so you don't believe that it influences young children in a negative way to hear these rappers that they admire singing, killing cops and calling women bitches and whores?
Well,
look, I'm holding my hand like a rapper.
Well, on the flip side, there is a side of it where there's music to fight that. It says, don't call them that, don't do this, don't do this, don't, there's a side of hip hop that says the exact opposite of what we're talking about.
Right.
And a lot of kids listen to those songs. So I think it's the personality, like, certain kid that might be a little goth and all they talk about is emo, depression, and suicide. They might go to an artist that talks about emo, depression, suicide, and kind of listen to that and relief that, and then
so
you go.
Are you saying it's not a bad influence to sing about killing cops and bitches and whores? That's not a bad influence?
Is Tarantino films a bad influence?
But I'm just asking about that kind of rap music.
Yeah, I told you how I stand on it.
You don't think it's a bad influence?
I approve
okay.
it. But what about you? Do you think Tarantino's a bad influence on society, or Scorsese, or any of these guys?
Yeah, it is.
So they shouldn't make bad movies anymore? They shouldn't make violent movies?
They can make it if children are raised by good parents and the parents can kind of guide them through it. But a lot of these kids are coming from single parents and they're already angry and they see that kind of stuff and they're easily influenced. So I don't think it should be done.
So you should just ban it?
No, ban it. I don't believe in that, but I think that the parents need to be careful about what they let their kids listen to and watch.
But the films should be allowed to be made, and
in America we have freedom of choice.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think about political correctness?
I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it. But on the flip side is it's all a mess. Because the lefties do go way too far with it, and it's bullshit.
Yeah.
And they use it as an argument for everything they do is like, oh, that's not right, and they'll shut down an argument by just saying you're not allowed to say that.
Right.
But then the righties come, and you got guys like who's the white supremacist guy that they're putting all over the TV, making a star now, the one that got punched in the face, the pussy guy,
Barack Obama.
Not the Nazi guy. Spencer, Richard Spencer.
I'm about to say Bill Clinton.
But Richard Spencer, they put him, give him all the shine, and then they say, his freedom of speech, and he's this and that. So it's like one side is fighting for Richard Spencer, the other side is fighting and pretending all freedom of speech leads to Richard Spencer if you're fighting for freedom of speech. So it's all, it's like, everything's a mess right now.
Do you agree that Richard should have the right to express his point of view about things?
Yeah.
Without being attacked and called names like that?
I don't have a problem punching him in the face. No.
You don't have a problem what?
Punching him in the face. It's
Really, why?
Because when you're spewing hatred in the world and you're standing there and somebody catches you, that's life.
So when Barack Obama was president, he spewed hatred out there. He's divided the races like no other president has ever done. Would you have been okay with him being punched in the face?
Well, I'm not a fan of Barack. I'm not a fan of Trump. I'm not a fan of Bush. I'm not a fan of Clinton's. I'm not a fan of any of them.
I don't believe that you're not a fan of Trump.
I really am. I'm not a fan
I can't imagine that.
No, I'm not a fan.
Trump is a manly man.
No, he's not.
I call him the Great White Hope.
I know. He's the most emotional thing that ever walked the planet.
You are in favor of free speech, right?
Of course.
Okay. And so do you agree with me that the president is the Great White Hope?
No. I think he's a mess.
In what way?
He's an emotional wreck, and he.
How is he an emotional wreck?
I mean, just follow his speeches. Everything is him defending himself. Me. He doesn't care about nothing but, stop saying bad things about me. This person. And read his
Well, you say you believe in freedom of speech, right?
Yeah, but I don't have to like or agree with the speech that the person's saying, you know?
Do you like the fact that the Great White Hope have cut back on taxes since being in the White House?
Here's the thing. Every president, no matter who it is, you could have somebody cheerleading for them and say a few good things that they did, and then you don't like that? Then you don't, why don't you?
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not
but they do that. Like you could get a Barack supporter and have him like the saint of the world and preach that. You could have a Trump supporter, he only is doing good and showed up good.
So let me just ask, cutting back on taxes, is that a good thing?
Yeah.
Getting rid of regulations and restrictions that prevent small businesses from starting up. Is that a good thing?
To prevent them from starting up?
By taking them away, you can now start them up. Is that a good thing?
It depends. I got to see the policy and the whole.
But is that a good thing if that happens?
It depends what the policy is. If there's strings attached to it, I don't know. I'm not sure.
But let's say that
I'm not educated on the thing you're saying.
Making friends with a little. What's that guy name from Korea?
Kim Jong.
Kim Jong.
That is the one thing that I gave him props. I tweeted and everything. I said, come on, because what happened is they it's a photo op, it's this and that, and I agree it's a photo op, but on the flip side is that photo op was very important because it started a dialogue, and now we at least there's a friendship, and they go, but he's an evil dictator and a killer. It's like, so what do? Go bomb them and kill everybody like the fucking United States been doing for decades? Like we just keep bombing everything? No, like I think where we stop being, the world police and, we'll kick your ass. Like you talk about anger, the whole, every time somebody gets us angry, we go to war and anger. It's like I think Trump actually going there, shaking hands, taking some pictures. Now the North Koreans like us a little more, and I think that.
And they signed a deal to get rid of the nuclear weapons over there?
Well, let's see if that happens.
But at least it's happened. It's the first time it ever happened with him. He met with a president.
Yeah, I thought that was the one thing that I said, look, I'm not a fan of Trump, but you guys that are just automatically hating on this, I think that's wrong.
Yeah.
Because that was the one thing that I would.
How about putting a big, beautiful wall around the borders? Isn't that a great thing?
I don't know. Well, on the flip side of that story is, Hillary and them wanted to put fences up. They act like this is a new concept.
I know.
That's that they've been doing that. Nothing changed.
Right.
But now they're more extreme about it. With the dialogue, their dialogue's more extreme, and the media is covering the extreme dialogue more. So yeah.
So you like the fact that the Great White Hope is putting a wall up? He's fighting to get a wall up around the borders?
No, man. Like I'm not a.
You said no?
Nah, I'm not.
You don't believe we should protect our home first?
In what way? Just I think you enforce. You
let them come through the front door in the right way, but not just through the back door with no wall, no door, no nothing.
Well, I don't think anybody's saying we shouldn't have no wall.
The Democrats are saying that.
They're saying we shouldn't have no door at all.
Nothing.
So they're just saying everybody should just run in the country and run in the country.
For the votes.
Well, yeah, they are, yeah. But I think obviously like any country, like if you're going to go to Germany, I go to Germany, I have to get a residency, I have to do paperwork, I have to do that. I believe that, you could go through certain things, but I also think that human beings are human beings also, so there has to be some kind of...
So let me just ask this. The president, he put the country first. Anything wrong with that?
Who said I think he puts himself first.
No. He put the country first.
How?
I mean, bringing jobs back. People, more and more people feeling better about the country.
That's
and about
not true.
Buying home.
Not true.
No, that is true.
That's not true because we have this whole, we're at war. We're at war within the country. It's like...
I know, but good is at war with evil. That's fine.
Who's evil? Who's the evil?
The liberal media, the Democratic Party, the Rhino Republicans, and the Never Trumpers.
And the Republicans are the good guys?
Not the Rhino ones, the conservative ones. Paul Ryan and all those guys are no good. John McCain, no good, and all that. But the men and women who are standing up for the country, putting the country first.
Who though? Who are these people? Just
me
the Trump fans?
And President Trump and everybody else.
Yeah.
Eminem said
I'm
something.
here for the ride. I'm here for the ride.
Are you a Republican?
No, but
do you vote?
But yeah, sometimes. But
and how do you vote? Will you vote?
It depends. It depends.
Have you ever voted for a Democrat?
No.
Thank you.
I'm not a fan of Democrats.
So have you voted for a Republican?
One time.
Yeah,
one time,
see,
one
you're a
time.
real man. You like President
No,
Trump.
I didn't vote for Trump. No.
But you should have.
No. I'm
you
not.
voted for Hillary?
No, I'm not a fan of Hillary.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're neither conservative or Republican?
I'm me, and I know that Democrats are devils, but I also know that Republicans are devils. So
Eminem went after the president. He said something about him really negative, but the president ignored him, and he went nuts because the president didn't give him any attention. Wasn't that smart?
Yeah, I think the reason you do certain attacks is to get press off of it, and Kanye did it smart. It wasn't smart.
Absolutely. No, that's
but,
the right
What
word.
happens is if he wanted to get Trump's attention, he blew Trump. So Trump has a big ego. So if you're nice to Trump, oh, Kanye's my guy. It's all ego. It's all Trump's ego. So
That's
so of course,
amazing.
so he's gonna be like, he said something bad. Look, Kanye's my guy. He said something good. Trump is all ego. It's his whole campaign.
But it's a good ego.
No, it's not a good ego. It's all about himself.
But
and then he doesn't even research nothing he talks about. He'll just like watch something on Fox News and then just be like blurted out on Twitter, and his facts will all be wrong. And you're like, come on, you're the president, dude. Just do a little research, my man. And then if somebody says something bad about him, come on.
I love that because
Yeah.
most of the time people don't defend themselves, and the children of the lie, they'll just make up lies
But
about you.
There's bigger issues in the world than him being butthurt.
But he's not hurt by it.
Of course he is. That's
He's
what.
just defending himself.
That's the.
I gotta ask because of time here. Do you believe racism exists?
Of course. 100%.
Where's your proof?
The world. The world.
That's not proof.
Yeah, of course it is. It's the world.
Give me an example of racism.
Hundreds of years of lynching and murdering and lynching and murdering people who don't look like you, bombing people who don't look like you, the years and decades and centuries of racism have always existed.
That's not proof.
So you want me to bring a corpse?
So
here's a dead man that was murdered because of his skin color.
I grew up on a plantation in Alabama.
Yeah.
Under the Jim Crow laws. Did you know that?
Yeah, you told me.
And racism didn't exist then.
The word racism you said didn't exist.
Right.
But racism, of course, racism exists.
But this word been made up by the children of the lie to keep blacks brainwashed, dumbed down, and demoralized to control them, right? And to put fear in white people so they can take white people's stuff.
I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Because
but why didn't we hear that word? They said it was right or wrong, good or evil. And there are bad people in all races. There are good people in all races. So treat people the way you would like to be treated.
But they weren't, because in their mind.
No, we were. I was there.
In the mind, they believed that the black man was inferior, and they treated him inferior.
But that's not racism.
And of course it is. And they looked down to him. And if you looked at the girl, this black man, they're going to lynch him and put him on a tree, and everyone's going to celebrate and point at the pictures and, oh, look, we got one. That's racism.
That's not racism.
Of course it is.
Okay, I can prove you wrong.
Prove me wrong.
There are black people who think that they're superior to white people. Louis Farrakhan think that, and his group think that.
Yeah, we spoke on that, yeah.
The Black Panthers think that. The black Israelites who call themselves Jew, they think they're superior to white people. Is that racism?
Of course.
That's racism?
Of course.
Oh, so you believe it can go either way?
Yeah, I believe if you hate somebody or believe you're a superiority because of what you look like, I think that's the definition of racism.
Why not see it for what it is, right or wrong, good or evil?
That's like saying, no, it's not murder. Just look at what it is. It's evil.
Right.
Because murder exists, even though it's evil.
Murder is
racism
evil.
exists, even though it's evil.
Murder is evil.
Yeah, but it's still murder.
Right, but it's not racist.
Yeah, no. That's
Racism is, our battle is a spiritual battle.
Is jealousy real?
Yes.
Oh, that's.
But that comes from being in a fallen state.
Okay.
You agree? And fallen state meaning falling away from God, and Satan is your father.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I don't know.
You don't know? Do you believe in the Second Amendment?
Oh, gun rights? Yeah.
Yeah, you support that?
Yeah.
And what do you think about all these people who are trying to take our rights away to bear arms?
Our country's a mess right now. the media is showing the names and making all these shooters famous, and everyone wants to be the next one next, and everyone wants to be the next one next, and there's an issue.
Well, they're doing that too to take away our. They want to emotionalize people to take our rights away.
I understand that, but what happens is some of the people fighting against gun rights aren't bad people. I'm not talking about the legislators and that. I'm talking about like the people in society. They believe like, oh my God, kids are getting killed. We must save them, and this is what we have to do. But the problem with America is we have to get the guns. There's illegal weapons all over the country, and we're not taking the guns out of streets. We're not taking the illegal weapons out of places, and then we're going to say, oh, we'll take the gun away from a gun owner that never did anything, you know. So
and create a criminal out of him if he doesn't give it up. So they go after the good people and cause them to become criminals because they're too cowardly to deal with the criminals. That's what the problem is too. Would you want your kids to listen to rap music?
Yeah, of course, my daughter, we listen to LL Cool J, we listen to Rakim, we listen to, I got footage of her rapping already. She's yo, yo, yo. You know, she does her little rap poses. Yeah, my little daughter loves rap. She comes, I took my daughter on stage with me when she was 10 months old. She's rocking at the Rocksteady 40th reunion in front of, you know, thousands of people.
Really?
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. If you were not a rapper, what would you be doing?
Possibly filmmaking.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What is love?
Love is when you feel something for somebody and you know, you do a lot for them, and you just and you do a lot for them out of your feelings and your emotion, not just because, you know, it'll help you, you know, like
you love all people?
No.
You don't love everybody?
No, hell no. There's a lot of people I dislike. Yeah.
Amazing. I enjoyed talking to you. Did you have fun?
Yeah.
You had fun?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming, man.
All right, cool,
I appreciate it. Thanks for watching The Fallen State. We need your continued support. Donate to my nonprofit here. Subscribe and like the videos here. And tell everybody and their mama about the show.